stop to notice there's a lot going on out there. From the grass that's on the ground that no one puts down, to the clouds up in the air. You ever seen a tree wake up in the spring, bear fruit by summertime? The sun is still going, stars still showing, and the moon still finds the night. What I've seen, I can't explain. I just know from where it comes. It's like the sky that's over me. It's just a joy each day to see what God has done.
So I just wanted to do something a little special to launch my first book, What God Has Done. But just wanted to take a second or two just to kind of set the backdrop and the stage for how this came to be. And it's really simple. And I'm going to use this analogy. And it's based on the fact that we all have something in common. We have a lot in common. There's one thing particularly we have in common, and it's a punctuation mark. And I'm going to see who sat in the front of the class through school. I'm just going to throw it out there. What punctuation mark would you say that we all have in common? No matter who we are, hue, race, creed, demographics, there's one punctuation mark that everyone has in common. Question mark? Comma?
Dash.
Oh, she must have went to Ohio University. What is it again?
Dash.
The dash. We all have in common a dash. And for me, before that dash was June 28th, 1965, my 50th year. I believe, as I was told, 11:49 p.m. on a Monday. I don't remember, I was just told. That preceded the dash. Then there's another date after the dash, which I care not to know right now, today. And it could stay away as long as possible. But we all have the dash in common. And I think in writing this book, or even having the courage to share what I share in the book, I guess I have to reflect to that punctuation mark. Is that we all have a dash, and within that dash, that suggests to me that there is something that God has done for everyone in this room, and everyone you know. And in essence, all this book is just my simple, humble account of what God has done for me, in hopes that it may be of some encouragement and uplifting to someone, maybe help someone along the way, or if nothing else, just to realize and to humble yourself in reverence. What an awesome God we serve. Anybody would agree that we serve?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This is, and like I said, I'm not about to say something that's in the book. I wanted to say something so bad. It's in the book. But I will preface it though that this is my way of giving back in a lot of ways. It's healing for me, as there are some passages in there that are very personal. But also I think that there's passages that everybody can relate to, just like we all have that dash that we can reflect upon. And with that said, as addition to thanking everyone to be here, it's very important to me that my family, I have family here today, and my son Timothy is here. What's it, Tim? I want to recognize my. So you can, as you read the book, you're going to see names, but I want to specify a few things without just giving the whole thing away. My oldest son, Timothy, is here, and my grandson, Paris. Say hello, Paris. Paris is, how old are you, Paris? 6. My oldest daughter, Kira, she's on her way. Jasmine was here, my youngest daughter, and she had to go and get properly prepared, but she just said, start without me. And my son drove from Atlanta, Georgia. Christopher Ivory, attorney at law. And I'm so happy he made it here safely and made the trip. It's just important to acknowledge, my children, because they are just the air I breathe. Little Bob, who is 16, 15, he couldn't be here. He's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I have extended family here. I have my other mom here, Geneva. Remember that name, Geneva. Remember that name. Shameless plug. One of my brothers are here, and his lovely wife, Van Ward. I have another brother, Paul, is on his way. It's just good to be surrounded by family and friends. I have my kid's mom here, Yvette, Marie, and a host of friends. I mean, I could pretty much spend the next 15 minutes just getting into who's here. But you have to understand how important that is to me, that my family is here and my extended family. I see friends from college. I see friends from high school. Friends from elementary school. I see teachers. I'm not going to point out too many because y'all can get your calculators trying to figure out how old people are. But just know that there are some people in here that I love dearly. And I believe what better way to launch this movement. It's more to me than just a book. It's not just a project. It's not just me attempting to be a publisher and so forth. It's simply me trying to not, this is not a tell-all. This is not a tell-on. This is just a tell of what God has done for me. And I know, I can only imagine what He's done for you. So, with that said, since I went totally off my script of what I was going to say, but I just, like I said, I want to do something a little special, which what I want to segue into now is another backdrop to the book. Before God Was Done was a book, it actually was a song. I'm not going to talk about it because you got to read the book. But my other cousin, just perfect interest. I just got to talk about family. Hey, Greg. My cousin Greg, you on camera, everything. This is on World Wide Web. PBS, CNN, you just walk right in. And before What God Has Done was a book, it was a song. I'm a songwriter. I play keyboards and do a little production. And I have a CD that matches the book. The CD is also called What God Has Done. It's a soundtrack to the book. I figure, like, you got soundtracks to movies, soundtracks to films, soundtrack to plays. Okay, we got a soundtrack to a book. And you'll see songs referenced in the book, and you also can purchase the CD that has those same songs. But What God Has Done was a song. And when I contacted my good friend Terrence Green, I said, I want to do something special. I want to have you choreograph a piece to the song, What God Has Done, to embody what I was feeling and see how that's interpreted through dance. And I saw it the other day, and I'm just not, that's all I'm going to say. But the way it's configured and based on the room, what we're going to have to do is kind of make a way to this little alcove, and they're going to perform in this beautiful fireplace, and I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Mr. Green, and also will be blessed by the incomparable minister Lucretia Bolden, who is going to sing the song What God Has Done. And I'm going to turn it over to my brother here.
But you're going to stay right here while I'm talking. You know what? This is not about me, so I won't talk long, because it's about just the work that he does. You know, when you can find another brother that's doing the same thing that you do, something of excellence, and when anytime he calls me, I try to be ready. I'm from Cleveland. He comes here, he's working with young males, he's doing something, so I had to go. And so when I heard the song, I was like, the vocalist was superb to me. But I was like, I said, Bob, I got the right person for you to, bring in here. My sister Lucretia Bolton. And then I heard it. We worked on this for a day and a half. And then I invited Bob, and his wonderful friend came in to rehearsal. It wasn't ready yet. I mean, me and him is just a perfectionist. Anytime that he does something, he just pours his heart. He don't like to talk about it. He like to be about it. You know what I'm saying? So. My mother is very, very hard, very picky, and when she likes something, that's when I know that we're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So I'll bring her in to the last minute. So when she came in here, when you know stuff is right, you get a feeling inside. And so the feeling was not what I got inside. The feeling was watching Bob watch. his work, because he thought he knew about his song. But he didn't know nothing about his song until he saw young people, young youth, visualize it and bring it across. And when you see tears come out his eyes, that's when we know God was involved in it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I got allergies.
you know what I'm saying? You know what? I mean, you know what? And this is what we feel about another brother saying that he loved, because we don't do that enough. I come from a family with 5 brothers, and we hug, we kiss. That's how it used to be. But then you think that you can't hug. No, we need to get back to letting us know and share with another man that you're doing good. That's what his work is about. That's what his book is about. And it simplifies you all being here. So we want you to come in. That is not the only opening right here. There's a door on the side where some of y'all can look in. This is the first time we're doing it, but we're going to do it in a bigger sense of it. And y'all are in for a treat, because anytime you hear Miss Lucretia Bowden,
That's right.
come up in there, I mean, she ain't singing, she's a worshiper. You know what I'm saying? So what she gonna bring up in here is who he is. Bob is a worshiper. He knows God. He knows what God is doing for him, and everybody that's surrounded by him has Jesus all of them. So we are attached to him, and also we're attached to his work. And my mother's over in the corner talking about cut it. So I, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I mean, so enjoy the work that this man has done. It's not about us, it's about his work. Let's give him a
It's just a joy each day.
I was 8 years old, and I'm at the table. I came from one of those do your homework at the dining room table, no TV, no radio, no Facebook. Wait a minute. I came from one of those households, and I'm sitting at the dining room table with my father, with my grandfather, and doing my homework. I don't know what it was, and it wasn't math. It had to be science or English or social studies or something. So he's there. I'm about maybe 8, 9 years old. I'm doing my homework. He's sitting there. Still had on his suit because he worked at the county, so he was suit every day. And he's sitting at the table. And whatever I showed him or gave him for his approval, you know, he sat there, he looked at it, and then he put his hand on the side of his face like this on the table. And he looked over and he shook his head. I'm thinking, like, is that wrong? Is it that bad? You have to understand, my father, Reverend Wallace Ivory, Sr., his penmanship was like he was signing the Declaration of his Independence. Like he was one of the signers. I mean, it was just... Wallace. And then when I turned this paper over to him, he looked at me, shook his head. He said, "Boy, what in the Sam Hill?" I grew up wondering who Sam Hill was too. Anybody else? Anybody else grew up wondering who was Sam Hill? He said, "Boy, what in the Sam Hill? You write like somebody choking you." I say that today because I still write like somebody choking me. So when I sign these books, remember that story. But there's one thing for certain, two things for sure. You will make out the two, and you will make out biography. Everything else, I wrote it in love. What my grandfather said. Okay.
And like the sky that's over me, it's just a joy each day to see what God has done.